I'm not sure about you guys, but this year has flown by for me and the holiday season is upon us once again. And there's no better way to impress your friends than with these mint macarons Christmas trees. Trust me, these are going to make you super popular. It's Isaac, welcome back to the channel, and let's get baking. Start off by mixing the almond flour and icing sugar together. I do this by pulsing them in the food processor to make sure they blend evenly. If you don't have one, don't worry, you can also do this by hand by using a whisk. Pass the flour through a sieve to remove any grains and almond shells. Now, for simplicity, we're going to use the French meringue for making these macarons. These are just a little bit quicker to make than the Italian method. There's a lemon macaron recipe using the Italian meringue method on my channel if you're interested, but for now, let's get on with beating some egg whites. Any kind of electric mixer would do here. If you're feeling like a workout, you can even do this by hand. But because I'm lazy and I don't want to work out, I'll be using a stand mixer today. Now, the important thing is to start off at a low speed for about a minute before mixing in any ingredients. This is to help the protein in the egg unwind and trap more air later on. Gradually ramp up the speed and start sprinkling in your caster sugar. Do this a spoonful at a time, give it about 3 to 4 minutes and you should get a nice glossy mixture just like this. Add some green colouring and give it another quick whirl. This consistency is often referred to as soft peak, because the peak of the egg white doesn't collapse on itself. Next, we want to sieve in about a third of our flour and start folding it in gently. We want to make sure we don't lose too much of the air we just whipped into the egg whites, but at the same time avoid any large uneven air pockets. So the technique here is super important. The best way I found is to use a spatula to scrape around the bottom and the side of the bowl and lift the mixture back over itself in one direction. Finish the movement by gently pressing down on the middle just like this. Do this until the flour has been fully incorporated. You've got to repeat this twice more with a third of the flour each time to finish it off. It's really important here not to over or under mix. The most common way to tell is to look for that lava or ribbon-like consistency. It should slide off your spatula slowly and then very gradually level off with the rest of the batter. Make sure you go slow and keep your eyes on the batter because it can become overmixed very quickly. The idea is to get the right amount of air in the batter to give the macarons those beautiful looking ridges. Too much, then the macaron may explode in the oven. Too little, then you'll get flat pancakes instead. Oh, and uneven pockets will also make them wonky. You know, macarons aren't easy, but practice makes perfect. Once you're happy with the batter, transfer it into a piping bag with a 1 cm round tip and get piping. Since we're making a tree, we need 4 layers. We need to pipe 4 different sizes of macarons. A template really helps here, so I've made one just for this recipe. I'll leave a link to it in the description box below. Just print it out and you're good to go. Next, tap the tray against the counter to release any uneven pockets and give it about 20 minutes or so to rest. This will help the macarons form a skin on the surface, which will force the air to escape through the bottom of the macaron to form those beautiful looking macaron feet. You know they're ready for the oven when the batter no longer sticks to your hand when you lightly touch them. It's baking time. Throw them in the oven at 150 degrees Celsius or 300 Fahrenheit for 18 minutes. Once they're out the oven, give them some time to cool completely. This will take a little while, so let's get on with making the filling. I'm going for a mint buttercream because it goes well with the green colour and also because it's a classic Christmas flavour, perfect for this time of year. It's also a simple and dense buttercream which is perfect for macarons. The extra moisture helps with the maturing process, but more on that later. Let's start off by grating some dark chocolate into fine flakes. Set them aside for now and beat some room temperature butter for a few minutes until it's pale and fluffy. Next, add in some condensed milk, colouring and extract before giving it another whirl. Once you're happy with the consistency, add in the chocolate flakes and mix again until fully combined. And finally, transfer it all into a piping bag with a rose tip. Once the macaron shells have fully cooled down, they should lift off the mat like this without sticking. Now, for the really exciting part. decorating the Christmas tree. Let's start off by using a bit of icing sugar mixed with water as glue to give the macaron feet some tinsels. Gently brush the edge with the sugar syrup and roll the edges in some edible gold dust. Next, pipe a layer of buttercream on the bottom of the largest macaron shell. Do this in a spiral pattern so the edge looks nice and pretty. Repeat this for each layer until it starts looking like a tree, just like this. At this point, you can really decorate it with whatever you want. For me, I've kept it simple and just added some baubles to give that Christmas vibe. Oh, and of course we can't forget the snow as well. The final step is to cover them up and leave to soften and develop flavour for at least a day before impressing your friends with them. If you take these to the Christmas dinner or use them as a gift, I promise you'll be super popular. Anyway, happy holidays everyone, I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and if you've got any questions just leave them down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.